Hello guys, welcome back to the channel and my first ever night review. And what we have here today is practically the ultimate daily car here in the Philippines. This is the Toyota Vios XLE. And yeah, it's about time I covered this Vios on my channel with test drive. I'd like to thank my friend John Jeremiah C, Lord of the Wade Limbs, for making this review possible. And behind the camera, Aiden1011, along too with his view of the Land Cruiser Prado VX. I have my own review of that as well. This Vios is actually one of the best dailies you can get. Yes, it's kind of like Toyota saying, boring is always best. You have a ground clearance of 135 millimeters, which is pretty decent. For this XLE van, you get halogen lights all around, but at least you have fog lamps, which some of the competition don't even have. And for the looks of this, I don't mind it because this part reminds me that of the LFA concept or the Toyota Supra concept vehicles. Yeah, there's some hints of Supra with this Vios. On the side profile, it's your usual sedan, but the repeaters are located on the body panels instead of the side mirrors, and these are running on 185, 60, and 15 series tires. Powering this Toyota Vios XLE is a 1.3-liter VVTi naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine with 97 horsepower and 100 Newton meters of torque, mated to a CVT transmission. And I have a lot of experience with this engine and more of my thoughts of this later on. Now here at the rear of this Toyota Vios, again per usual, like with every other subcompact sedan, you get halogen taillights along with your repeaters, and I think these are custom sensors, or I forgot that these come as standard. What's different though with this XLE, you have a reverse camera right here, and to open the boot, it's like my former daily car. You have to do it here from the inside, or of course with the key itself. And despite to being a subcompact sedan, we have a lot of boot space here at 475 liters. Literally, you can fit like two of me here side by side with no issues whatsoever. Have a halogen light here. Again, very similar style like with my former Toyota Corolla daily. I want my car back, but I moved on. Now with... Relax. So this is the interior of this Toyota Vios XLE. Here on the door card, yeah, there's a lot of plastics, but at least you got cloth material here for your elbow pads. Here's Aiden1011 once again. And everything else here in the interior, it's as simple as you can get. But I'm willing to forgive it for this budget subcompact sedan segments. And yeah, everything here is pretty much plastic. And like that of the Toyota Rush, this kind of mimics stitches. But again, it's just all plastic. You only got one button here on the left side for your electronic stability control. And your steering wheel, it's all polyurethane, but you get controls here for your volume and radio functions and for your phone connectivity stuff. Well, rather for picking up and declining calls only. Regular stocks. And, oh yeah, I forgot to mention this. Only get tilt, not telescopic functions, but it's pretty alright. The driving position is pretty decent, but it's a little bit too far away from my liking. But overall, as a normal daily, it is okay. You have an analog tachometer, speedometer, and your fuel meter with a little display just down below. So just toggle this and it displays all of your odometer and other fuel readings. And my favorite part about this is, yeah, this car is showing its age a little bit, but sometime I think mid-2023 or last year, this 7-inch infotainment system now gets Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as standard. And remember, there are cars that I've tested on my channel that's like worth 3 million pesos, but they still don't have this phone connectivity apps. Very good job with that Toyota. And being an XLE, you have a reverse camera with just lines. They're not dynamic guidings. But hey, at least there still is. And it's very important for all of the first-time buyers who will purchase this vehicle. 2 air conditioning vents, and further down you got all of your controls for your climate control. 2 cup holders for the in front of the gear shifter. Everything is gloss black here, but you're not going to be touching that anyways. Manual handbrake and a 12-volt socket just here. Console box, it's pretty good, and there's like a space here for your cans on the left side. I never knew about that. And the seats here, being an XLE variant, everything here is all cloth seats. And above here, ooh, get your halogen lights. and vanity mirror here on the sun visor. They don't extend, but at least you have a ticket clip holder. And being a Vios, the rear seats, it's pretty much basic as you can get. There's literally nothing there at the rear, apart only for this center console box, but there's not even cup holders or central armrest rather. But I am not to complain about is the space there. Despite being a subcompact sedan, once again, I have a very good amount of space sitting behind myself. Now, first drive on camera with this Toyota Vios XLE. I had so much seat time already with this vehicle since I was renting a lot of this in the past. Now, as for the driving of this, okay, it's a Vios. I won't be too hard on it, but I will have some honest thoughts about this vehicle. Of course, starting with the positive, around in the city, all I can say is good. The steering is really light, and it's okay to drive in the twisties, but if you're just driving it sensibly like right now, it's really good. And the suspension, okay, I can tell it's just a tad firm compared to the others. However, it will smoothen out once everything is weighted up. And going here, like over humps and uneven surfaces, manholes, as such, at speeds, yeah, does the job really, really well. And I like this 1.3 liter engine because it gives a nice little hum compared with the 1.5 liters. And the CVT, yeah, it's not meant to be, example, like a Subaru CVT that's more on the sportier side of things. This one is more tuned for the comfort and fuel efficient side of things. When I was driving this on the highway, 97 horsepower may not sound enough. You may be right, but it's not as underpowered as you might think. But you do have to plan ahead in overtaking because there's a lot of transmission delay. So sometimes it gets confused like this. There, see? That was kind of like a 1 second delay-ish only. But if you're just cruising along, like go a bit faster, about 60 kilometers per hour, it's really, really good. Everything else, like visibility, it's really good. And despite running on halogen lights, yeah, it's still, I mean, pretty decent. Yes, with all of the crossover and LED craziness, I don't mind these halogen lights because, again, in the long term, they will be very, very efficient and very fast to replace. Yeah, that's the thing too with this Vios. The ride is, even on highway, yeah, it's a tad stiffer compared with the rest, but I will say a big but. It's pretty flat through corners, at least, even at higher speeds. And the NVH overall is a little bit of a mixed bag too. The wind noise is not that much since the side mirrors are located on the body itself, hence to reduce wind noise. But this one, I see a lot of people why they're modifying this Vios in the first place. It's the tires. Yes, these are just running on eco tires. Once you get past 80 kilometers per hour, yeah, expect a lot of tire noise going in here to the cabin. Make no mistake, it's not an uncomfortable experience, but you tend to notice these things when you drive these things a lot. Now, as I said with the CVT transmission, it's not the fastest thing out there. However, comparing with the Vios of yesteryears, like someone doing a race car build, this Vios is as fuel efficient as the competition. So around in city driving, even at the heaviest of traffics, you can do around 8 to 9 kilometers per liter. The worst I got was around 7.7, but still, that's still pretty decent. On mixed driving, like on heavy traffic, and then it clears up, and then highway, and then back to heavy traffic, you can do around 10 to 11 kilometers per liter. And on the highway, you can manage 13.1, but my maximum was 15.1 kilometers per liter. Pretty decent, but against the competition, yeah, it has a lot to catch up to. And with those numbers alone, and having rented this car quite a lot already, the fuel range from where I go to the province and back, it's probably almost the same to what you get in my former daily car, the Toyota Corolla big body with a 1.6 engine. Okay, everyone might say, hey, keep comparing with your old car. Hey, I'm a Toyota owner myself back in the day. Yeah, I expected a lot more with this Vios. But if you're truly after fuel efficiency, just get the manual. I know that's a tad more fuel efficient than this, as they say only. But I think in my experience, there are more or less exactly the same. At 902,000 pesos, this Vios is literally the best car you can buy as a daily. It's fuel efficient enough, the ride is good, and it has one of the best-in-class spaces that I've known in any subcompact sedan. And of course, you buy this because it's a Toyota. Guarantee, if this was my replacement for my Corolla, it can last 30 years and maybe more. And that concludes my full review of this Vios XLE. Advance apologies too if this was filmed at night because I had no more time to shoot this weekend. As you can see from my outfit too, I filmed a lot of cars today. And of course, I wanted my viewers to know too on my impressions of these Vios. And I would say too, despite my nitpicks, this is still a very, very good car. Because Toyota, reliable, sustainable. Hope you guys like and subscribe. And thank you again to John Jeremiah C for making this shoot possible and tailing me in the back. And I will see you with more future Toyota reviews. Bye-bye.